Hello everyone, Elspeth here, and welcome to a new Let's Play series, Rising World. So, this is, I guess, kind of like a somewhat more realistic version of Survival Craft, you could say. We're going to go ahead and create a new world, set in survival mode. Normal world type, you can do normal, super flat, surreal, just do normal. High amount of ore, caves are enabled, vegetations are enabled, animals, water, dungeons, all of that. We're going to play with everything. And then hit create world. And let's get started. Except it doesn't like the world name. So let's remove the apostrophe. Alright, and here we are in our new world. We start out with a pickaxe and just a regular old axe. And we have to survive. So, first thing that you need for survival is wood. So we'll chop some of that down. Ooh, and a watermelon. We'll take that because we're going to need food, and watermelons also satisfy your thirst requirement, so that's really good. Now, Rising World is, I think, a very interesting game in that it really is very much about survival, and it does it in a fairly realistic way. And we have potatoes, always good. At the beginning, you just have the pickaxe and the axe, and you have to figure out how to survive. It's much more difficult, and I guess you could say realistic, than Survival Craft. Ooh, what do we have here? Tomatoes, excellent. So, initially, you are wandering around and you're basically foraging because you don't have any weapons to kill any of the animals. So, you're kind of just wandering around, foraging, looking for food, gathering resources as you go. Now, we want to find some place to set up camp. Ideally, you want some place that is close to both water and a mountainside. Oh, sand. This is the first time that I have spawned near sand and the ocean. So this is cool. I've never seen this before. Pretty awesome. Well, we do kind of have water here. Not kind of, we have water. But we're going to need resources that I don't think will be close to this water. Namely, we're going to have to set up a mining operation to gather stone and iron and so on, so that we can create the things that we're going to need to survive and to thrive in this world. And what that means is that while the sand in the ocean is very pretty, we're not going to be staying there. And you can tell if it's something you can pick up. I don't know how well this will show up on your screens, but the little, I guess, targeting crosshairs change into a hand. And that tells you that you can grab whatever it's hovering over. So, let's get a little bit more wood. And then we're going to start walking. And hope that we find some mountains with water near them, not too terribly far away, because I don't really want to be hiking all night. Ooh, look at that. Cotton. We'll want that. We'll kind of keep an eye out for useful things as we go. Now, I don't really see anything that looks terribly like mountains. I'm seeing a fairly flat tree line, actually. which, oh, well, that kind of looks like a hill over there. We'll divert a little bit to get some more cotton. Let's head, okay, I'm seeing mining possibilities. When we have a weapon, we can kill the pigs, but we don't right now, and your axe isn't really that effective. So we got some cherries. We're just kind of gathering food as we go. It's really important to have a lot of that. And you have to be careful because you'll encounter things like this. This is just a giant hole in the ground that you can mine. I mean, you can, if we switch over to the pickaxe here, you can start mining stone here, which we'll do because we need some stone. But we need to be really, really careful when we're doing this because you can, similar to survival craft, if you go straight down, you're going to dig right through your flooring, your footing, and you're going to fall. And we don't actually know right now how far down that would be. And we don't really want to find out by falling. So that's something that you have to be very careful of. I've never run into a situation where I've had anything fall on my head while I was mining, but I'm still careful. We don't want to spend too much time here, but we are going to need stone to kind of progress. You can't really get everything done with just wood. So if we go all the way down here, we can see. You can see down there at the very end there, right before it gets dark, we've got some iron down there. That's very deep. Don't know how deep. Don't really want to find out. So we're gonna keep going here. If possible, I like to set up camp kind of directly in between a little pond and a mountain. So I have mining and water right there. And let's see here. We've got another cave. Wow, look at that. That goes pretty far down too. So you do have to be careful. No running around with your head up in the clouds, looking at the sky, not paying attention to where you put your feet. Let's see. Oh, look! We've got water. Okay. So, theoretically, this would actually be an okay place to set up camp. But I would like to try and see if we can maybe find some place a little bit better. I don't want to try going too far because we want to be able to find our way back to that little pond if we don't find anything better. I would just much prefer to set up camp kind of on the side or next to an actual mountain that's going to be a little bit easier to mine, which I think would be that way. First, we're gonna check here real quick, see what's over here. Yep, another pit in the ground. See, you got to be really careful. All sorts of places to fall into around here. Gather some more food as we go here. What's over here? All right, we've got some more water. And you can somewhat, yeah, you can see the bottom, so it's not deep. Now this looks good. We've got water over here. Got some trees around us. What's over here? Let's take a quick look. I feel like we're going to be setting up camp right around here. I think, yep, more water. Okay, and then over here, looks like we've got the side of a mountain to mine into. My. Okay. Wow, that's deep. Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set up shop or set up camp over here. Ah, carrots. So let's see, I really like a fairly flat area. So kind of right in here is pretty good. Yeah, we can't do anything about the grass right now. That's okay. So go into crafting. Do you get into your inventory? Start out with resources. So we need lumber. We can increase the amount that we make here. Start out with 20. Gets us 80 things of lumber. And now we need to make a small shelter. So 32 sticks for a small shelter. We need 32. We'll go with 40. And over here, this number here is how many resources you're putting into it. And then over here, you can see how much of the item you'll get. Craft item, go back to general, craft object. Now we're also going to want the fireplace. The skewer's not really very important until we actually have a weapon and we can go hunting, so I don't care about that, but the fireplace is good to have. Partly because the fire will help you find your way back. We're also going to want crafting station. So we've got enough lumber, we'll go ahead and craft that now. Close out of that. Let's see. We're going to switch around some items in our inventory here. Crafting station and shelter. So first off, we'll make the shelter, and that's just right click and hold here. Placing shelter, shelter placed, and you can see that it's like crooked, off center, and not such great placement, but that's okay. That's okay, that will do. Now we need the crafting station, which is 4, and you can use the arrow keys to change the alignment of it. Place it here. And just push F once you see the little hammer on top. And now this is where you'll be able to craft tools once you have the necessary items. This is also going to get you more options for your crafting stations, which we need. The next thing that we need is a smelting furnace, but we need more stone for that first. So we're going to go and get more stone with our trusty pickaxe. And then we will get the smelter up and running. So we'll kind of start here. Ideally, we want to mine in such a way that we end up with kind of a nice gradual slope down into this area here. Because remember, we don't want to fall into a potentially bottomless pit. Because I can't see how dark it is in there, or how deep it goes. I can see that it's dark. So we want to be careful of that. Get lots and lots of stone without getting ourselves killed. So mining kind of is mining across the board. The goal is to get as many resources as possible without getting trapped by any sort of catastrophic accident. So I guess I should probably say, I got started thinking about this because as much fun as I've been having with survival craft, and I am still going to do like the house builds and stuff, I feel like I want to take a little bit of a break in a way and do something kind of different. And whoa, okay, so bad direction there. Let's go around and start in on that. Yeah, let's be careful not to get killed. Well, I don't know. I've never actually fallen from a great height in this game, so I don't know how far you have to fall to die. I do know that I don't want to find out how far I have to fall to die. But yes, so still going to do some stuff with survival craft, but just wanting to also do something a little bit different. kind of give myself a bit of a challenge. So that is what led me to Rising World. And I've played it before and had a lot of fun with it. It's been a while since I played it. So I was kind of messing around on my computer, taking a look at what I have in my Steam library, and was looking at this one and decided, you know what? It's been a while. Let's hit play. And then I was fooling around and decided that this would be a lot of fun and that I wanted to make a Let's Play series out of it. I don't know how far we'll take the series. We'll kind of see how it goes. Yeah, so that's how we got to this point, and I'm getting thirsty. You can see down here in the corner you have your little thirst and hunger icons. So since we're more thirsty than hungry, we want our watermelon. Hold mouse right to cut into pieces. Now it's in pieces. Click the right mouse button and you eat. And because the watermelon has kind of watermelon has a high, I guess you could say, liquid concentration, high water content. So it satisfies that. Now I need a torch and a torch mount. So, got our torch. Let's proceed forward. Okay, and this does not go back very far at all. That's alright, actually. Switch over. Place our torch mount. And then place our torch. And now, we have light in here. So we can see what we're doing, which is great. And this is a nice stable cave, I would say, which is good because you need a lot of stone. So you do actually spend a fair amount of time mining. And of course, as with any survival game, in the beginning, you're very focused on gathering all the resources that you need to survive your first few nights, days, weeks, whatever. Which I think is pretty realistic, because if you were in this situation where you're kind of stranded, so to speak, on some remote location all by yourself, you're going to be very focused at first on just having the basics to survive. You're not going to be terribly interested in, you know, building really nifty things or anything like that. You're going to be very focused on survival. So I feel like that's awfully realistic. Let's see. We're doing good. We're doing good. Of course, we don't have any ore yet. So hopefully, somewhere in here, we will find ore, because you do need to have that in order to craft a lot of things. So, specifically, you need iron to craft things like pickaxe heads, axe heads, etc. So we're going to be desperately hoping to find that here pretty soon. And I think for this Let's Play, I'm not going to cut out anything unless you guys specifically tell me that, you know, wow, it's really boring watching you mine. Please go do your mining off camera. So let me know if you want me to do that, and I will. But I would prefer to do everything on camera so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, and if you have Rising World, follow along. I think that it's only available for PC. It is still listed as an early access game on Steam. So that means obviously early access, there will be a lot of changes coming, things being refined, updated, and so on. So that's something to look forward to. But overall, I think that it's very playable right now, the way it is. And obviously, of course, I think all of us have felt with any game that we play that there are some areas that could use further refinement. Whether that's the case or whether that's just personal preference is something that we could probably debate for a very, very long time, and we're not going to right now. Because everybody has different opinions about every game they play. But yes, I think right now this is a pretty stable game, and you can see that having a tree fall on your head doesn't actually hurt you. Nifty little thing. I just chop up the tree here for some more logs, because once we have the furnace made, we're going to then need fuel for the furnace. So we need to have plenty of logs. And as soon as possible, I want to craft a chest, because one thing that is kind of consistent is that I tend to run out of inventory space very quickly. So I don't really want to have to choose to get rid of things. Okay, so our smelting furnace is ready to go. Where are we going to put you? Let's see. Let's say right here is probably good. Yeah, that looks good. We'll place that. And unfortunately, I don't think you can actually pick things up. You can't pick things up and move them once you've placed them. They're there. So I don't really want to overdo it on how much stuff I'm placing. A lot of this stuff we really don't need just yet. The anvil we'll need, but we don't have any iron yet, so we can't do anything about that. And you'll see, let's see, we need the scythe to cut grass. We can do the sickle, but it's less effective than the scythe. And let's see, rake, we'll need that. But all of that requires, like these things all require a rake head, scythe blade, and for all of that, we need to have the anvil and have iron. So look at that, it's nighttime. All right, oh, that's a pretty sunset. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this an episode here. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I will see you guys in the next episode when I wake up.